I love motorsport. I cannot live without motorsport. I have the passion for it. Always when I'm sitting in the car, I get some goosebumps.
Because I think racing is an art. The combination of everything, every skill set, the focus, the adrenaline, hand-eye coordination, everything with racing is just very beautiful.
Racing is a sport like no other. When the driver gets into their car, they reach incredible speeds. It's an exhilarating feeling that every driver loves. But with that speed, there's no room for mistakes.
Going out for the first time here in Spa and you're going through the Rouge, for sure there's going something through your mind, you know, like, ooh, it's quite fast.
And there's contact, the two of them go spinning on that Rouge. Campfinger somehow keeps it out of the barriers, can't scattering left and right.
You can't succeed without failing first. But overcoming those struggles makes every win unforgettable.
GT Master is the championship with a very high level. The race weekend are very short, so you have to learn quickly, and on the track everything is really important.
In the ADAC GT Masters, each car is driven by a duo. You race alone, but your focus is on gaining the best position for your teammate to step in and finish strong. At FK Performance, we have an exceptional team that is united by our desire to win. We have two cars in GT Masters, car number 10 with Gregory de Zuburg and Eduardo Kozotang, and car number 54 with Leon Köhler and Maxime Osten. So far, we made our team principals very happy by securing a podium at every race. These achievements have currently secured us P2 in the championship. The competition is strong, but that only motivates us to go all in.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite good. Happy to be back in the car for the fourth round of the ADAC GT Masters here in Spa. It's a beautiful track, so I can't wait to go racing.
Are you feeling prepared?
Not yet at the moment. We're just struggling with the right setup. So yeah, never been here on track with the GT3 car before. We are not really the best one in qualifying with the car. We are always struggling a bit in qualifying, but we are super strong in the race, so this is even more important, and for sure because we get some points in the race, so the race is for us much more important.
Qualifying is one of the most crucial aspects of racing. If you start behind your competition, it's incredibly difficult to catch up. It's also an area where we recognize the need for improvement.
The cars are in the pit lane and getting ready to start this short and sharp qualifying session.
Gregory finished in P16 with a time of 2 minutes 19. Maxime finished in P8 with a time of 2:16.9, but that still placed us behind our closest competitors. This result fell short of our expectations, and it was particularly challenging for Maxime, who was incredibly competitive.
Could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, I'm Maxime Osten, 20 years old, and I race for FK Motorsport. No, I need to do it again, because it's FK Performance. Hi, I'm Maxime Osten, 20 years old, and I drive for FK Performance.
Can you give us some insight where you grew up and what brought you to racing?
So, I grew up in a really small city in the Netherlands, only 4,000 people who lived there, so it was really silent and everything, and I tried to make it a bit less silent with driving some quads and some bikes and everything, and yeah, I always liked to be around stuff with engines. Yeah, actually when I was 5, both my parents were racing, my mom and my dad, so I was always joining them on track, and I was sort of the little guy, and I tried to be a mechanic and helping a bit, just carrying tires and doing nothing more than that. And I felt a mechanic, and I really just like to be around cars and on the racetrack and the speed and the people. It always was a really happy place for me.
What were the biggest challenge you had to overcome?
What is one of the biggest things? I think maybe it's even this year, with sometimes not being on pace, but always want to be perfect, because I'm a perfectionist. If I do something, I want to do it perfectly. And this year there were really high ups, but also some downs. And it's difficult because we're P2 in the championship and we really are fighting for P1. But it seems like for the guys who are now in P1, it's going too easily. And that's mentally quite a struggle. That sometimes we need to fight 10 times more to do the same as what they can easily.
Are you a very competitive person?
Everything I do, I want to win.
Perfect answer.
What a glorious part of the world. Welcome everybody to Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Circuit that is 7 kilometers around. We will be getting this underway in about 10 minutes or so, but it gives us a chance to bask in the sunshine here in the Ardennes forest.
Racing in Spa always feels special. It's the longest track in GT Masters with some incredible fast corners. The most famous part of Spa is Eau Rouge, a notoriously tricky and high-risk corner that really tests the driver's skill.
The Drivers' Championship, it's Elias Seppänen and Tom Callender, the driver duo who lead the way from Leon Köhler and Max Osten. But Leon and Max are very much closing in on the championship leaders. They are just 12 points behind.
Just before the race starts, you can feel the tension in the air. The pit crew clears the starting grid, and in the box, a quiet focus takes over. We watch as the drivers complete the formation lap, heating their tires. The race is just moments away. And then they come around the last corner.
3, 2, 1.
And it begins.
And we are go! Heading into turn 1.
Right at the start, Maxime passes Schumacher. Now Budakov is ahead. Now Fach is in front of him in his Porsche. It was a fantastic start. Before completing the first step, he already made up 3 positions.
So just riding on board with Alex Fach, just see the car in front of him picking up a bit of dirt. Max Osten just behind them as well. Max, who was frustrated yesterday, felt as though there was more speed to come out of the car. He put so much commitment into his qualifying lap and felt as though he could have qualified better. Those 2 cars, while they're fighting each other, it's allowing Max Osten to close in. And Janis Fischer will be aware that the BMW will be looking to make a move if he can find a gap at all. Max Osten just giving it everything he can to close in.
If you want to win a race, you have to give it all. But if you push too hard, you risk a penalty.
A black and white flag for track limits. Well, that's how hard Max Osten is pushing. Track limits on turn 3. So that is up near Eau Rouge that track limits have been signalled. So Max Osten needs to be careful, because if he gets many more of those warnings, he will find himself with a penalty.
And then things took a turn.
That is Gregory to Cyborg. It looks like the rear wheel is pointing in the wrong direction. Well, that looks like it's made severe contact with the barrier.
Gregory, are you okay?
Thankfully, Gregory was fine. But moments like this really make you appreciate the safety.
This may well create a full course yellow or bring out a safety car. Indeed, it goes safety car. So we've lost Gregory to Cyborg from the race. It does mean that Eduardo Kozatang is not going to get a drive in the FK Performance BMW here today. We are back at Spa-Francorchamps for the first time in 9 years. Our third ever visit here in ADAC GT Masters. And we have notification that we are about to get back underway. Right, here we go. Green flag conditions. Elias Sepinen back on the accelerator, weaving to keep the heat into the tyres. And also, rather helpfully, stops cars from passing into turn one, into last auto. Nice wide line, all very much under control. The rest of the cars coming through in single file. Then absolute full beans as we head out towards Eau Rouge. Elias Sepinen leading the way. Benjamin Heitys coming under pressure once again. On board with Alex Fack. You can see how hard Max Osten was trying. You saw the dirt being kicked up in the air as Max Osten just went a little bit wide. Look at this, the fight for third place. But it is, in fact, Janus Fincher who finds the route through into third place, relegating Benjamin Heitys down into fourth place. Now Heitys with Max Osten for company. So the BMW now putting the pressure. But Max Osten has a penalty lap for exceeding track limits. So Max Osten with a visit to the penalty box. This is going to hurt because the rest of the field are so close to him behind. He is going to lose about 5 seconds. That's going to lose him a whole load of places. He will have to take the penalty next time around, and that is going to seriously hurt his championship challenge. He and Leon Köhler, who are very much in contention for the championship. That is an absolute disaster.
That penalty was incredibly frustrating. First the crash from Gregory, and now a huge window of opportunities just closed.
Right, there is Max Osten. Look at how many places he's lost. Absolute disaster.
I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been for Maxime. He fought his way up, only to watch it all slip away again. With 50 minutes remaining, we knew the battle ahead will be tough.
You can see the pit window is open, but nobody's coming in too quickly at the moment.
What was your strategy for Maxime?
The plan was to go long into the pit window and then Leon to take over.
So Max Osten, he's got 55 seconds still to come in. He'll be in. Here he comes. So at Max Osten coming in as well. He's handing over to Leon Köhler. It's the 63 car of Tim Zimmerman, challenging for position on board with Mike David Ortman. So that is 11th and 12th place, fighting very much for position with Leon Köhler. Köhler coming out the worst of that battle. So Leon Köhler relegated by the cars in front.
Just behind Zimmerman and Ortman, Leon found himself in a tricky position.
So up ahead of him is Pablo Schurber, who has gone straight on at last source. they've managed to get the number 8 car. Looks like he's managed to get it to safety, so good news there.
And let's push 45. Let's push 45.
And that's Leon Köhler to the inside of car 33 of Jonas Greif. So Leon Köhler fighting for 10th place, and in fact Zimmerman into that 10th place. Peeling off into the pit lane is Salmon Vega. So clearly an issue with the car. So the crew are having a look. This is a disaster. Salmon Vega out of the car along with David Schumacher. It looks like they are retiring. This is very significant in terms of the championship. Talking of the championship, Leon Köhler, Tim Zimmerman still fighting over that 7th place. To remind you, coming into this race, Max Osten and Leon Köhler were in 2nd place in the championship. They were just 12 points behind championship leaders Elias Seppänen and Tom Callender. Salmon Vega and David Schumacher were in 3rd place. They were 26 points behind. Look how hard Leon Köhler is fighting that BMW. They clearly have not got a handle on it yet. Certainly Max Osten had said that the car was not handling in the way that they wanted it to, and they're still fighting hard to keep it on the track.
After laps behind Zimmermann, Leon tried to overtake. But the gap closed and Leon gave the position back.
Now, Leon Köhler has allowed him to take that position back. Up ahead of them is Mike David Ortman in 6th place. He's saying, fight all you want. I'm clearing off in 6th place. The pit window is about to open any second now, and then this race is going to change around once again, because those who did not take on tyres in the first stop will need to take on tyres in the second stop, and in so doing they will have to take a longer pit stop, longer by 10 seconds.
What was your strategy for the second window?
So Zimmermann decided to box early, so we decided to go long to overtake him.
We still got 4 cars yet to pit. Minute and a quarter of the pit window still open. A little over 12.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race. Right, Denis Bolotov coming out of the pits, or as he's coming in, Leon Köhler will be handed back to Max Osten. So everybody who needed to make it into the pits in time for the pit window has done so. There are the cars coming out of the pit exit. With 9 3/4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining, the 2nd endurance race in the history of ADAC GT Masters. There is car number 4 with Alex Fack in 5th place. Max Osten just behind. But Alex Fack with a clear track in front in 5th place, been working hard to play the pit strategy. Alex Fack is now up with Taylor Hagler in that 4th place, and Hagler is gonna feel the full might of the Swiss driver very, very shortly, because Fack is very much tucked up behind the number 19 car. Right, there is Fack challenging for position, moving up into 4th place at the moment. Alex Fack past Taylor Hagler, but Hagler doing a solid job in that 5th place now, but will have Max Osten on her back bumper before too long. Now, Max Osten has found a route past Taylor Hagler in towards last source. Behind them, Chandler Hull and Benjamin Heites. Here we come. down towards Eau Rouge. Once again, 5 minutes remaining of this, the second ever endurance race in ADAC GT Masters. Denis Bulatov, somebody has had, is that a lock-up or is that somebody having a barbecue? I could just see a lot of blue smoke rising in front of the camera. Max Houston just a little bit too far back to challenge for a podium position, but 5th place with all the traumas for the 54 car will feel like something of a victory, I should think, for Max Houston and Leon Köhler. Our race leader will be shortly starting his last lap, and that's exactly what he's just started now. So Elias Seppänen has just crossed the start-finish line to start his final lap. But this is the fight for 3rd place we continue to focus on. Denis Bulatov with Alex Fack fighting for the last of the podium positions. Max Houston a little bit too far back to challenge. Problems for Alex Fack on the very last lap of the race. Car number 4 peeling off onto the grass. What a disaster. The Fack Autotech Porsche looks like there's been some kind of drama. There was less than 1 lap to go. Max Houston and Leo Köhler in 4th place. They will be pretty happy with that considering how things started.
How did you feel after race 1?
Mixed feelings, so for sure happy with the result, but there was more on the table.
Despite finishing on P4, we're not quite in a celebrating mood, but there's another race tomorrow.
Let's keep pushing.